Good morning. It's Weezy FS1. Skip the BS and put everybody after BS. PS, all I spit is FACTS. The best, skip Bayless, yes, say less. Top for the top, apex, everyday flex. If you ain't got no haters, you ain't poppin', I ain't trying to hate. Let's have a Jordan and LeBron debate. I got time today, dripping on the chain. My diamonds say what they gotta say. If you think it's a game, I commentate, I ain't gotta play. On in the morning, I own my opponent. My competition is not an issue, it's cotton tissue. Unconventional, controversial, convoluted, unconditional, undeterred and undisputed. Good morning.
Good morning. And Happy New Year to you, and Happy New Year to Richard Sherman, and Happy New Year to Michael Irvin. How are you guys this morning?
Fantastic.
I'm doing well.
I hope you both got a little bit of sleep last night. And here we go. Just as important, happy new season to Cowboy Nation, which now wakes up to the distinct possibility of having 2 home sweet home playoff games in a Jerry world in which it has now won 16 straight games. All thanks to the Cry Eagles Cry, who blew a home game yesterday to the 3-12 Arizona Cardinals. Thank you, Beagles, for that. The Cowboys obviously have struggled on the road, but they're now 13.5-point favorites to cinch the 2 seed by winning at arch rival Washington Sunday. That's 4:25 Eastern on Fox. All of which inspires me to say, how about them Cowboys? But I will be the first to admit, the Lions rightfully beat our Cowboys on Saturday night at Jerry World. Our Michael Irvin was there for the halftime induction of Jimmy Johnson, of course, into the Ring of Honor. What a ceremony that was, finally. And Michael has made the point here on Undisputed that putting Jimmy into the ring could pave the way for a Super Bowl ring for our Cowboys, because it will finally break the 28-year curse of no NFC Championship games since Michael's Cowboys won, of course, the franchise's last Super Bowl in early 1996. The NFL gods were certainly with us late in Saturday night's game at Dallas and late yesterday at Philadelphia. So now the question looms for Michael and Richard and I. Should the Cowboys be elated or deflated by Saturday night's outcome? Michael, you first, but this first. Do you agree with me that the Lions got robbed Saturday night at Jerry World?
Well, I will start here first that I do believe, Skip, wow, on how you open this, talking about that old curse that hung over us for so long, the Jimmy Johnson curse. I don't know what else can explain what happened yesterday. I don't know how you can figure this thing out, that this thing went down the way it went down. And Dallas gets that game. And Philly does what happens in Philly.
Yep.
I said, man, I said to myself, even at that game, when I left that game, I will say this. I thought, I didn't feel like we won that game.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I didn't feel like we won that game. I was like, oh, my God. And you're headed into the playoffs on that note. And then, of course, all of the halftime stuff, made me feel great. And then what happened in Philly the next day, I was like, whoa, this is crazy now. Because now, boy, that does open up some things.
Does
you know what I mean? Open up some things to have some home games where the Cowboys didn't play well, did not play well in that game, and I still put that, guys, on that offense. Didn't show up. The defense did, again, a good job, Sherm, in holding them to 19 points, the same thing they did to Miami. You hold 19 points to me. That's good enough when you are running with the number 1 or number 2 or number 3 offense of the Dallas Cowboys, and that's what they've been the last few years. I just need them to get back to producing that. If the defense stays right where it is and keeping people to 19 points, those were pretty good, two pretty good teams at Miami and Detroit. So that Dallas defense, who got gashed in Buffalo, I thought fought back pretty well, but the offense, is not doing their part. And that's what I'm worried about right now, Skip. So I did leave that game feeling like, okay, we won, but it didn't feel like we won the game, to be honest with you guys.
All right. Go, Richard.
Yeah, I don't know if they got robbed, Skip. I thought there were plays in that game Dallas made that the Lions didn't make early on. I thought the interception late that Jared Goff threw was a heck of a play by the defense, and that was a play where they had a little bit of momentum. They had a chance to make plays down the stretch. They did eventually get down the field and score a touchdown. But I do think this was a mistake on the referee's part, and I think the NFL went out of their way to make sure the world knew it was a mistake on the referee's part. They went out of their way to say, hey, these guys will not be reffing in the playoffs. You have it here first, which is something I don't remember if I've ever heard of the NFL ever doing before. And mind you, I've talked about this before. They have a system, a point system with these referees where if they have a certain amount of mistakes, they get marked down, their crew gets marked down, they get marked down as an individual, and it affects their ability to ref the playoff games in the Super Bowl, in the AFC, NFC championship games. So no question, this has always been the case, but they've never went out and totally exposed this system by saying, hey, these mistakes, including this decision and the tripping call, is the reason these guys, you will not see these guys in late January and early February. And so, I don't know. It just seems like it's a case of a guy, Brad Allen, the white cap, just going through the motions more than anything. Not actually listening, not actually paying attention to what's going on the field, but just going through the motions. He sees the guy coming in. He's been reporting eligible all day. He sees him doing this. And in reality, the Detroit Lions were trying to throw up smoke screens, which, there's no way to do in that situation because he's going to go to the defense and say, hey, 58, 68, they're reporting eligible. So no matter how much you hide it, no matter how much you sugarcoat it, disguise it, he's going to announce it to the defense if he said. Right.
Right, we call it the Bill Belichick, where you're messing with the rules just a little bit, trying to mess with people. But go ahead, sir. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
No, it just was them getting a little bit too cute because at the end of the day, you want them both to report eligible. And I think the play would still work because nobody's paying attention to two tackles. Everybody's like, okay, the tackle's there. We don't need to worry about him. Let's stop this run or let's penetrate. Let's do whatever we need to do to win this play. They're not expecting Decker to come out for a pass. The problem is, I believe after you report, you got to come out. And so then that would have been an issue later on in the game, but it wouldn't have mattered here.
Okay. So to me, in the end, the Cowboys couldn't lose for winning.
Skip, let me explain.
Go ahead.
Skip. Can you wait, two people can't report, right? Two people can't report? Is that right?
Can report
I don't know if that's to be true. I don't know if that's to be true. I haven't got that confirmed.
I think they can.
Okay.
I think two can. And to Richard's point, if we run the video again, you see Penei Sewell is 58, and he's going straight to Brad Allen, along with Taylor Decker, who seems kind of second in line there, and then kind of looping behind them, but making a late run at Brad Allen as he's already going toward the defense, is Dan Skipper. So they were trying to camouflage, trying to disguise, trying to trick it up a little bit where Dallas couldn't fixate or focus on one guy as reporting eligible, who would be Taylor Decker, who was going to be the primary receiver on the play, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, so Richard, have you seen that? I don't know if you remember a game where multiple would try to look like they were reporting to fool you or fake you out.
Not since they changed the rule where the referee literally reports it, goes to the defense, reports it, yells it over the loudspeaker. I haven't seen somebody try to disguise because it doesn't make sense. He's literally going to snitch on you anyway. No matter how much you hide, you got to go over there and tell him, hey, I'm reporting eligible. And he's going to say, no matter how much you hide it, no matter how much you disguise it, he's going to say, 68 is reporting eligible, everybody. Hey, defense, 68 is a reported eligible. So
okay, but that's not what he got because Dan Skipper had reported eligible numerous times through the game already, which was Dan Campbell's way of trying to set up the fakery here. The camouflage was that, oh, we'll tailor that because the defense got told regularly, oh, 70's eligible, 70's eligible, 70's eligible. And in this case, it was going to be 68 is eligible. And Dan Skipper tried to run in late just to fake them out. But Brad Allen just jumped to the conclusion, oh, it's 70 again, reporting eligible, because he'd done that several times during the game. And you can see all of a sudden that Brad Allen is taking off like he's trying to beat the clock and get to the defense in time to say what he'd been telling them all game long, that Dan Skipper is reporting as eligible when he did not actually say, I'm eligible. And according... Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
No, what's insane about the play, Skip, is Skipper isn't even in an eligible position when they get up to the line of scrimmage.
He is not. Okay, so he became irrelevant.
Which is why they had two flags.
Okay, but I don't even, Michael, I don't get the second flag either, because his explanation was that he reported eligible, then lined up ineligibly.
And he got covered up. He got covered up once he reported.
But he didn't report